The law says if you are under the age of 18, you are legally a minor. You are legally a child. When you take sexy pictures, naked, half-naked pictures of yourself, or make videos of yourself, whether you are very sexy, a bit promiscuous, a bit naked, the law says you are manufacturing child pornography. If you have that created content with you, you are in possession of child pornography. If you send this to someone else, you are distributing child porn. For this specific girl, she manufactured, she was in possession, and she distributed child porn. So, which is a criminal offense.
Wow. Welcome to our 4th episode of Safe Parenting with FunkyFing. Today we've got Dr. Anke again on our podcast. Our mission at FunkyFing is to empower parents and to equip children to not fall into the trap of being handed a cell phone at such a young age when they haven't matured enough. You know, their prefrontal cortex hasn't developed, and so we as parents need to be that critical thinkers for them. So we're really on a mission to empower parents all over the world and South Africa. So that's why we also have these podcasts, is to have specialists like yourself. I mean, you wrote the book, The Digital Dilemma.
Yes.
And you go all over South Africa and you talk about the dangers that you've seen in real life, and that's why we have this podcast, is for you to share those stories and for us to be educated, us as parents to be educated. So Dr. Anke, we wanted to ask you, is there something specific that you have recently discovered and you can see that it's a pressing issue with the problem of a child being given a cell phone at a young age?
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for FunkyFing and what you are doing, this amazing smartwatch. It is really also something that I advocate wherever I am going, because the one thing that I'm saying is take the phone, and then it's amazing for me to say, but when you take the phone, I will give you an alternative. So thank you so much for this. Sure. So it's an honor to be here. So the story that I'm currently busy with that is really breaking my heart is a young girl of 14 years old. She was referred to me by the police. She was taken away out of custody from her own mom, single mom, very, very driven career woman, successful career, but single mom. And like I said, she was taken out of custody, placed into a place of safety for a week as part of her rehabilitation, and also eventually when she ended up in front of a judge, the judge ordered her to get counseling, and I was the appointed counselor for this girl. What happened to her is she went on OnlyFans page. So just some background on OnlyFans. So OnlyFans is a platform that is supposed to be for 18 and over, where you can create a page, almost like a Facebook page or an Instagram page, and you can meet up with complete strangers again, where they can send you a notification or send you a request to connect with you. So the initial idea of OnlyFans was almost like to create adult content a little bit, or but sexy content, almost like a TikTok, but just a little bit more advanced or a little bit more
promiscuous,
risky, yes, and to sell sex basically safe, where you don't have to actually go to a actual strip club, or where you don't actually have to sell yourself or your body for money where you can do it on a platform. So it sounds very noble.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will think, oh, okay, but that's actually not a great idea, but it's a horrible idea, obviously. And so this particular girl, 14, in a very prominent school in the east of Pretoria, she also opened up an OnlyFans webpage where she was selling videos of herself, photos of herself, where she was making up to, at that stage, about $100 a week. And
for a 14-year-old, that's enough. I mean,
Yeah.
more than enough. I
for
mean,
a 14-year-old, if you want a pair of Guess jeans,
Yeah.
you just upload a couple of sexy videos of yourself. Someone is paying you to see that sexy
Yeah.
videos. You feel like it's very safe, and what's the harm? No one will know me. No, the content creator can do it in the privacy of the safety of their own bedroom. The one who is exploiting or paying for the content, you don't know who it is. So for a
so
teenager,
it's anonymous. So
yes,
you don't know. Okay.
yes,
So you don't know who.
No, so
Okay.
you also have like a fake profile and everything.
Okay.
But so for the content creator, it feels safe, and for the one she's paying it to, she feels like you will never know who I am or where I stay. And she was selling content, and she, according to her, lived the life. So she was telling her friends at the school what she was doing, and obviously the friends also started doing it, and it was spreading into the school. Some girl then contacted or told the school head or head of department, I'm not sure, and then the school had to phone the police.
Okay. Investigate this.
Yes. So a school, and this is also sometimes a grey area for the school, where the school can say, but the content wasn't created during school hours, or
Yes, it's not school related.
exactly. So they will feel like if something happened at home, the school cannot get involved, but actually the school have no choice. The school must get involved. If the school finds out about it, then they have to act. So obviously the school found out about it and they had to act.
Okay.
So with regards to legislation, and this is where I believe a lot of parents does not know, and obviously the children does not know. So in South Africa, a child under the age of 12 cannot be arrested at all right? And then they say you have criminal capacity, meaning the age from which you can be arrested is from 14 years old.
Okay.
So now there's a grey area almost. So under 12, you cannot be arrested, but definitely criminal capacity from 14. So now they reckon that between 12 and 14, like I say, it's a grey area where a judge, for example, can decide, yes, you knew exactly what you were doing, so we're going to say that from the age of 12 you can be arrested, or no, you didn't know at all, so you fall under, not going to be arrested. So, all right, so this specific girl, she was 14 years old when she created the adult content, and obviously then she have criminal capacity. Again, the law says if you are under the age of 18, you are legally a minor. You are legally a child. So when you take sexy pictures, naked, half-naked pictures of yourself, or make videos of yourself, whether you are very sexy, a bit promiscuous, a bit naked, the law says you are manufacturing child pornography. If you have that created content with you, you are in possession of adult of child pornography, and if you send this to someone else, you are distributing child porn. So for this specific girl, she manufactured, she was in possession, and she distributed child porn. So, which is a criminal offense.
Wow.
So before I go to the whole story, let's just think quickly about a boyfriend and a girlfriend in school.
Because we hear this very, very often.
Yes.
They're going out, sending pictures to each other,
Yes.
and it gets leaked.
Yes. Yes. So now it's almost like when I speak to girls especially, I will ask, which they, for example, like you say, created the nude or the sexy picture for the boyfriend. It got leaked. Huge story. And I will ask her, but why did you do it? And then the common answer will be, but it is normal. So for a lot of children, it is normal to take a selfie and to distribute that. And then again, from the boys' side, what I have seen in a lot of schools is that when the boys are in possession of a lot of girls' nudes or sexy pictures or dirty pictures or underwear pictures or whatever you want to call it, it gives them some form of street credit. They collect these images like trophies, they always share it amongst each other. So one should never think, and this is what I say to the girls as well a lot, please don't think when your boyfriend says to you, I love you very much, send me a sexy picture of yourself, I promise that I will keep it to myself. They never, ever, ever do, ever. But anyway, another problem that we are having today is where girls will go onto dating sites, which is absolutely shocking. They will go on dating sites, they will meet someone, a complete stranger on these dating apps, and they are clever, much more clever than your 14-year-old or 15-year-old. They are pedophiles. They do grooming for life. They are very patient. They have a lot of girls line up. So even if it takes them 6 months to groom this girl to eventually send them a nude, they will wait. So then this extortion, sextortion, blackmail will also come into place, where this girl will eventually send us a nude and they will start blackmailing for money. We actually have syndicates in South Africa that call themselves the Yahoo Boys, where it's millions of most of them Nigerians that is working from a hut somewhere or a back room somewhere, and they will try to extort money from anyone who is willing to pay 500 up to 10,000 rand. So the extent of this is just far-reaching with regards to suicide, child suicide, things like that.
I actually saw a video, I think it was yesterday. I saw a video. What happened with this boy, exactly the same. He was on social media. This girl, allegedly girl, messaged him. They spoke. He thought it was a girl, a young teenage girl. He kind of fell in love. She asked for a nude pic. He sent it. What happened after that? Got blackmailed. I think they wanted 1,000 euros. The video is called Save Jordan. So what actually happened is this mom, to cut it short, this boy took his own life.
Yes.
Because first he felt very embarrassed knowing that his friends and people's gonna know or see those pictures. Yeah. And obviously he didn't have the money. And at that stage, that was his whole life, like his reputation in school, and he took his own life. So this mom, when you said now in Nigeria, that's exactly where the perpetrators were. They were from Nigeria. So this mom, they were in the UK. They traced those men from Nigeria, flew them all the way to the UK and got them arrested there.
Oh, well done.
But she was advocating for parents. Parents, please, don't let Jordan's life be for nothing. Be involved in your children's life because this happens.
Yes.
So
it does. It really, really does happen.
Yeah. So just adding on to that,
yes.
there's other parents or children who took their life.
And it really happens, you know.
Yeah.
So the youngest child that I know of who was blackmailed through a community channel on Telegram, and that's also why I am saying please don't add Telegram as a form of instant messages. They have this function that we call community channels, where the location settings, if it's on your phone and you move into a certain location or a certain area, it will immediately pick up on your location, and then they will send you a message saying, do you want to become part of the Pretoria East Funny Girls, for example?
Oh, wow.
And then you say yes, but then it's just blackmailers on that group.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, you know, she was added on a community group, and like you say, same story, groomed, eventually sent a nude, didn't have the money, and then they start saying to her, all right, but if you don't have the money, then you have to pay back the debt that you have to that you're owning us. She had to make movies, she had to do things with animals, she had to graph their names on the inside of a thigh on live video, and the last almost like thing that they ask her to do is, all right, you have to commit suicide on live. Yes. So that is, I know this is the extreme, you know, but this is really what is happening in our country.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the story of this girl, 14. So anyway, the school got involved. The school phoned the police. Police confiscated this particular girl's phone and her friend's phone. And because she was 14 years old, she was creating adult content, being in possession and distributing adult content. It is illegal. She was arrested. At the police cells, obviously, they found the mom, who is the legal guardian. They found the social worker. And they also got the child, a family advocate involved in this case. She was then released. A mother said, at that stage, her mother said, listen, this girl is rebellious. I've spoken to this girl. She doesn't want to learn. She is stealing my car. She's stealing money. She is defiant. This mom said, listen, this girl needs to learn a lesson. And this girl was placed into a place of safety as part of a punishment. At the end of the day, the judge found her guilty, but he didn't send her to prison. He gave her 100 hours community service, also counseling as part of her punishment. She also had to do a course that was developed by Department of Social Works or something, that she had to finish this course. And but the shocking part was, you know, this girl was sitting in front of me at actually our first counseling session. Very arrogant and very rebellious. And she said to me, she said, you have to do what you have to do. She said, write your little paper, do what you do. She says, but the moment I get my phone back and the moment I am back in my old routine and back into my house, I am going to do this because I like the fact that men want to watch me. I like the money, so I am not going to stop this. So yes, that was something that really shook me to the core, you know, and I do blame the damage on this girl's life because of social media, because it's also scientifically proven, you know, the damage on the brain, the limbic system, the prefrontal cortex, what excessive screen time is doing. And your prefrontal cortex, you spoke about it in the previous episode, is where your executive functioning and your decision making is lying. It's right here in the front part of your brain. And too much screen time literally shuts down your prefrontal cortex and your decision making. So literally this girl is not, she cannot be in a place where she can make good decisions because of what social media is doing to her, and she's not allowing her mom to act on her behalf. And then again, you know, it's some people will say, in hindsight, we have all the answers, but, I'm just wondering, what if? What if the mom limited the screen time? What if the mom is saying no? And there is this whole movie that is circulating now on Netflix, or actually a series that everyone is talking about, adolescence.
Yes, I haven't seen it. I want to see
you
it.
have to go and watch it, and the last episode is heartbreaking, where the mom and dad was sitting next to each other, and the mom was saying that she remembered this boy when he used to love playing basketball. He was just this bubbly child, and he was playing outside, and how he practiced for basketball hours and hours and hours outside. And one day he came to his dad and he asked the dad for a computer and asked the dad for games, and the dad was saying in the series that, listen, there was no reason not to give this good boy, well-balanced boy, a computer. And he explained in the series how they bought the desk and the earphones and the gaming console, and I'm not want to spoil everything. And the mom said she woke up at night, in the middle of the night, and it was 1:00 in the morning, and she will see the light coming from underneath his room, and she will say, listen, but it's 1:00 in the morning, you have to go sleep now because you have school the next day. And the boy will say, yes, mom. And the mom said she will go back to bed just hoping that he will switch off the screen, which he didn't. And the mom was crying, and she said, I should have done more. I should have done more. And I hope every parent will watch that series so that you cannot be this mom or dad saying, I saw the dangers. I saw my child's mental health declining. I saw that she was not sleeping. She was isolating, didn't intervene. And also this mom said, but I thought it's a teenager. All teenagers are doing this. And this mom also of this girl, where she said that I thought it was normal. I thought teenagers were on social media. I thought by leaving my child, I'm doing the right thing. And at the end of the day, this mom lost this girl. I am sure if she had to go to a psychiatrist, she would probably be diagnosed with a personality disorder, because that is exactly what it is. If you have a total disregard for consequences, if you really doesn't care what it is doing to you, as long as you can have your way, that absolute pride of me, entitlement, my life, my body, my money, it can be a personality disorder, So yes, it is a huge problem. Also, again, technology, Samantha, is not slowing down. It is getting better and better. So with AI technology, we have now deepfake technology. So one of the things that deepfake technology can do is it can nudify you. So also, again, warning parents not just to post anything on social media platforms. So you can take any ordinary picture from Instagram or Facebook or wherever, you run it through deepfake technology or AI technology or a Nudify app, and that person or that picture will be completely naked. And that's also what they are using currently with extortion and blackmail, is they will send you that image back and say, all right, but if you do not pay me an X amount of money, I will send this to school community, or your contacts on Instagram, and it works. So, it actually happened to Taylor Swift in 2024, where she was blackmailed because of deepfake technology, where they nudified her, and they said that image was downloaded like almost 40 million times in 20 minutes on X. And the only way for them to have stopped the download was to take Taylor Swift's name completely off the internet. So yes, Samantha, I do believe, especially with legislation And we do have, South Africa has a Cybercrimes Act. We actually have an amazing Cybercrimes Act where the content creator can be in serious trouble. The mom and the dad, who is the owner of the phone, whose name is signed on the contract, you as the mom or dad, you can also be held liable.
Definitely.
If you allow your child to do these things, you can get a fine of up to 300,000 rand or 5 months imprisonment. We know the story of the mom in America who this child was just threatening to kill teachers and to take a gun to school. The school did in fact call the parents, got the parents in, and the parents were like just blasé about it, say, it's nothing, and where the child actually did shoot the teacher, and the mom was fined for 5 years imprisonment, So
Yeah.
I think we are at a point, Samantha, that we cannot scream ignorance anymore.
Definitely, because legislation is in place, just like you said. Wow, I think I'm shocked. I'm shocked by the story to know that a young girl at the age of 14 is exposed to OnlyFans, distributing it to her friends. I mean, she was spreading the news to her friends. And what would have happened if she didn't have the device?
Yes.
What would have happened? And I know so many schools, even here in Pretoria, even the high schools are saying we are a smartphone-free school. Like, we don't allow cell phones. And the reason why is because they don't want this situations to happen. So parents, if you're listening, learn from this real life stories. There are few high schools that are going cell phone free, but take up the responsibility of yourself as parent and pressure the schools and ask them, listen, these are the dangers, these are the stories, real life stories out there, and we want to advocate for our school to be a smartphone free school. So thank you for listening, and Dr. Anke, thank you for being here today, and we look forward to having you again in the future.
Thank you, Samantha, and thank you also for what you are doing. Thank you for FunkyFing platform. Thank you that you are a voice in the darkness, that you are bringing these stories to the listeners. So I really, really, really salute you for what you are doing.
Thank you. And Dr. Anke, likewise. I mean, you go all over South Africa to preach this message, and we thank you for that. Awesome.